Hello, let's do Wordle for June 10th. Let's give our members wheel a spin and see what we're starting with today. Ooh, it's on the edge between Wiz and Zonal. Wiz is what was picked, so this is by Vinny Faletico. I hope I said that right. Wow, okay, so we are not starting with a word today. We are starting with Wiz. I mean, it's a word, but may as well. Yeah, weird. Okay, so we actually learned something important here. Not only is there not one Z, but there's also not two Zs. All right. I think we have least available, so let's just do that. Whenever least is available, usually a good idea. All right. We have an A and a T. So I'm thinking like TR, but then the A can't go third, so that kind of means I don't necessarily want to do it. TROA doesn't seem like a thing. All right, maybe just like an ROA. Oh, T can't go at the end. Rota. What about like aroma? No, aroma doesn't have a T in it. So like an AT word I could do. Like, I don't really want to repeat a T. I was thinking about attack, but that's too long. I just want to include an R or an N or something because it's more common letters, but I'm having trouble. What about like, oh, I can't do RANT at the end because that overlaps the yellows quite a bit. RANT like this would be fine. Ranty? I'm getting very ranty today. I doubt it. It might be a decent guess if it accepts it, to be honest, but it is kind of a throwaway. Maybe just A second, and then like maybe even TA, and then just like a vowel here, like an O or something, like Talon, but not because we can't do Talon. There's Tarot, but we can't end in T. Also, I don't really want to repeat a letter if I don't have to. This is interestingly limited. What about a U here? Ooh, what about like TAU? G? No. Taunt? Ugh, again, can't end in T. Tar. Tardy? Like we're late? We're tardy? Finally found something to guess. Let's do it. Why was that so hard? Oh, when that TA turned green, I was like, I found it. Okay, that AY pattern. Ah, I forgot about the AY pattern. I usually go for that. If I have a yellow A like that, trying an A second with Y at the end is kind of my go-to, and I forgot about it. I see tangy. There's not much to say here. I mean, I could try to think of what else there would be, but I really don't think there's all that much. Okay, so there's tangy and tacky. The problem is they don't overlap at all. But do they overlap with anything else? Because there could be one better to guess than the other. Tabby, like a tabby cat. This could be dangerous. I think tawny is a word with it. My W is not working. Tawny is a word. But there's no W, so we're okay. I don't think tawny like this is a word. Taffy, I think. Like the chewable candy. Taffy. The problem is taffy, tangy, tacky, and what was the other one I thought of? Tabby? They have nothing in common. They don't get each other at all. And that's four words for three guesses. So I think I'll gamble on this one. I don't know if I want to go for tangy. I don't think there's much of a reason to pick one or another. I'm thinking about tangy just because there may be like other words with energy that I'm not thinking of, but okay. So let's go with tangy. I think we're down to tabby, taffy, and tacky. And this is why I don't play hard mode. I try my best to stay in hard mode, but I am going to do a filler today because I don't want to gamble it. So we at least need like a two out of these four. Well, we can't do CK, but we need two out of these four letters. Other than that, putting in three of them would be best in case there's something I haven't thought about, if that's possible. I'm trying to think if there's a way to use again three out of these four letters other than CK. Right, the CK are kind of grouped. I need one of those two, and then an F and a B. I mean, usually if there's a B, we would start with B. Decaf. You've heard of decaf coffee. How about decaf coffee? I think the C is probably a more likely target than the K, but I'm just worried there's another one besides the three I've thought of: tabby, taffy, tacky. I wish I could remember if we had any of them before. This is why I want to include three of them, because I don't know that I've thought of all the possibilities. I just don't think there's a word. Fecal, fecab, cab, cab. There may not be one. Graph. There's plenty that use two. Tammy? Tammy's a name. I don't think Tammy's a word. Tappy. I'm debating whether I just go for two out of these. Like just do something like I don't know, frack. Would be fine. I think that's CK. Anyway, Brook. There's so many words that use two of these letters. It's using three that's tough. Especially B and F together. Maybe that was a reason not to guess tangy, was to have an easier filler later. Yeah. Because having an N or a G to put in, probably an easier thing to do. Than having to use both B and F. Befog. I mean, if I guess something like backs, right, that definitely confirms if it's tacky or not. Like, having a C or a K does not necessarily mean it has to be tacky if there's something I hadn't thought of, although I really don't see how there'd be anything else. But and then the B gets rid of tabby, and then I can just sort of guess taffy if neither of them light up. I'm worried about all the vowels we have left. We have O and U left. I could guess bucks just as like is there going to be a U in the word? I don't see how there's an O. T-A something O-Y. All right, I'm going to go with bucks. Well, I said that would be taffy, so let's try it. There it is. Okay, phew. Oh, that was that was a rough one. All right. I suspect there's going to be a lot of casualties, especially people in hard mode. All right. Like I said, I stick to hard mode unless I'm on basically guess 5, and I know there's more than 2 answers left, so that they can't get each other. It's pretty rare, but this is why I don't have hard mode on. All right. Preserved my streak, thankfully. And to be fair, I started with whiz. If I had started with least, then it wouldn't have been a problem. So that's my compromise for starting with random words like whiz. Alrighty. Well, let's check with the bot and see if I got lucky or if I picked a good filler there. So I started with whiz. My W is just sometimes not pressing. That's very bad. All right. It's not fully tested. I went with least, which I'm sure is fine. We got the A and the T. So there's 25 words left. It suggests Tarok, Tabor, Tarok. I went with tardy. We got the T-A-Y. So there were 5 answers after tardy. Tabby, tacky, taffy, tangy, and tatty. I did not think of tatty. Interesting. Unlikely's taggy, tacky with 2 Ks, tammy, tanky, tanty. Tanky is a really good guess because it gets rid of both tacky and tangy. But look at this. It's like, look, we're losing on a lot of words here, even if we're very careful. I went with tangy here, which is a 60% solve rate. And now we're down to tabby, tacky, taffy, and tatty. I had not thought of tatty, so I got lucky on that. I don't really know what that means. Is it like slang for tattoo? But if we turn off hard mode, yeah, it's tough because it's considering tatty here. So bafts, buffty, facta, facts. Ooh, facts. Was that what I was hunting for? No, it wasn't what I was hunting for because I wanted a B and F and a C. I didn't think of tatty. But facts is really good here. Batch, really good here for getting just enough. Butch, botch, all the vowels with TCH are fine. All right, and I went with bucks, and so I'm going to be down to those 2 words. I'm going to be down to taffy and tatty, with a 50-50, and I hadn't thought of Tatty, thankfully. All right. So I did get lucky. I won a 50-50 even after all that. This is one of those where probably 2 fillers were the way to go. But anyway, let's go all the way back up and see how it does in hard mode here. It's going to go with a rose. And the answer was taffy, so we just get the A. It goes with badly. We get the AY. Then it goes with fancy. Interesting. We get the AY. And the F. Ooh, we get the F. That's quite nice. Now it's only taffy. Okay, so it wins because we got fancy with our guesses. I mean, it knew it was going to win right after a rose. Badly was the way to not lose. Very interesting. All right, and if we start with Saleh, then we're 1 ahead of what happened last time. And so it goes for train, which gets us the T and the A. Still just... Wait, what did I miss for taffy? TAFFY. Huh? Oh, the A is supposed to be green there. Shoot. Okay. So it goes body. And oh, now it's concerned. Because body. We get the T. All right, we already have the T. It goes tardy, like I did. It might actually be in... it's got 2.4 guesses left. Interesting that it's not... It gets rid of the B here for tabby. Maybe the W is helpful for something. It's going to go tanky or tacky. I would go tacky just because it's one of the options, or tangy. Why don't we go the same as I did, tangy? And then it's down to tacky, taffy. So because of body, we rolled out tatty, and that was enough. And then body also rolled out tabby. Wow, that's a really important immediate follow up to Saleh in this order is to go body. Yeah, and it was saying that's the only way to avoid basically losing on taffy. So, I mean, that's a 6 right there. It's going to get into 5 or 6. I'm curious how ADIEU people do on this one. Let's see. ADIEU. This is a really tough one. Taffy just gets the A. We're going to go with clasp. And again, it's worried about some kind of trap. Again, just the A. Tyron? Rotin? Taurin? See, this is the problem, right? We've used up so many vowels. We have to do weird words to be efficient. Tyron. So we get this. And then we're down to tabby, taffy, tatty. So it's saying just go through them. Right? So we could potentially do this, but like it's a 1 in 3 to get it in 3, 4, or 5, or 4, 5, or 6. But you got to guess something like Tyron. Because you're out of vowels. You can't be creative with your fillers. In the hard mode it plays, at least. It doesn't reuse grays, which is actually kind of a mistake. All right, cool. Because if you're going to guess Tyron, you know it's not going to be the answer. So you might as well guess a filler that, if you can, that uses some of the gray vowels that might get you more optionality. Or any of the gray letters. All right, cool. Well, that's it for this video. For those who want to watch the New York Times games, you can click at the end of the video. You'll be taken right there. And if you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.